My parents paid for my sister's college, but not mine. At graduation, their faces went pale when I said this. I stood there in front of everyone, holding my diploma, while my own family whispered behind my back, expecting me to crumble. Before I say anything else, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe because you won't believe how this story unfolds. For years, I was the joke of the family. My sister got everything: tuition, new clothes, even a fancy car for her first year. Me? I worked 3 jobs just to pay for community college, while they told me I was too ambitious to expect help. At every family gathering, they made subtle digs. Joan, maybe you should find an easier path. Or, not everyone can be a star like your sister. I swallowed it all quietly. But nobody knew the nights I stayed up building a business from scratch, sneaking out after work to meet clients, or the hundreds of rejection emails I ignored. When graduation day arrived, I wasn't just walking for a degree. I was walking for every sneer, every doubt, every "you'll never make it." The ceremony was packed. Friends, relatives, my parents, and of course my sister with her smug smile. As I stepped up to the microphone, I saw my mother clutch her purse tighter, and my father's confident smirk fade. I looked out at the crowd and said, I didn't just graduate today. I built a company that's already making more than $1 million a year. The money I earned paid for this diploma, and soon, it'll pay for my sister's too. The silence that followed was louder than any applause. My parents' faces went pale, not because I embarrassed them, but because they never saw it coming. Just when they thought I was the underdog they could dismiss, I was the storm they never expected. But this was only the beginning. They tried to laugh it off at first, like it was some kind of joke. My sister whispered to her friends, "Who does she think she is?" But I could see the doubt flicker in her eyes. My dad's jaw clenched, so tight I thought it might crack, and my mom kept glancing nervously toward the exit. I knew I had hit a nerve. After the ceremony, everyone rushed to congratulate my sister, but no one came near me. Except one person, my old college professor, Mr. Harris. He smiled and said, "Joan, you're exactly the kind of person the world needs more of. Quiet strength with a fiery heart." That moment felt like a secret victory, the first real acknowledgement of all my silent struggles. Back at the family dinner later that night, my parents barely spoke to me. My sister was loud, bragging about her new internship, trying to drown out the awkward silence my success had created. But then, just as I thought they might keep pretending everything was fine, my mom's phone buzzed. A message popped up, a bank alert for a transfer of $50,000. She tried to hide it, but I saw it clear as day. My sister's smile faltered. I asked casually, "What's that?" My mom stammered, "Oh, it's just a loan for your sister's living expenses." I smiled quietly, knowing that soon the tables would turn even more. Because while they were still busy playing favorites, I was already planning the biggest surprise of all, one that would leave everyone speechless, including my own family. And this time, I wouldn't need anyone's approval to win. The next morning, I woke up to an unexpected email titled, "Urgent, Contract Opportunity." It was from a major tech company I had been quietly negotiating with for months, something I never told my family about. The deal promised to double my business value overnight. I felt a rush of excitement but kept calm. This was my secret weapon. Later that day, my sister bragged about her internship again, as if it made her untouchable. I just smiled and said, "Congrats, hope it goes well." Inside, I was already preparing the ultimate reveal. My parents still acted like I was invisible, but their ignorance was about to cost them dearly. At the family's monthly dinner, my parents started mocking my small startup, calling it a hobby. My sister joined in, laughing. "Maybe Joan will need a job from me soon." The whole table chuckled except me. I waited, letting the tension build like a storm about to break. Then, I reached into my bag and pulled out a glossy business card that everyone recognized instantly. It was the CEO's card from the company in the deal. I leaned forward and said, "I just signed a contract that's worth more than all my sister's internships combined. You thought I was nothing, but I'm about to prove you wrong." Their jaws dropped. The room went silent except for the clinking of glasses. My sister's face turned pale, and my mom looked like she might faint. My dad opened his mouth, but no words came out. I held their gaze and added, "And this is just the beginning." From the underdog they ignored, I was becoming the storm they couldn't stop. But the real twist, it wasn't just about money. It was about finally making them see me for who I truly am. That night, as I lay in bed, I replayed every moment, from the dinner over and over, their shocked faces, the silence that swallowed the room. It was more than I had ever hoped for. But deep down, I knew this wasn't just about showing off. It was about reclaiming my place in a family that had written me off as a failure. I wasn't just fighting for respect. I was fighting for justice. The next morning, I received a call from the CEO himself. "Joan, your work has impressed us beyond expectations. We want you to lead a new project, one that could change the entire industry." I didn't tell my parents, not yet. I wanted to watch their reactions when the full truth came out. Days later, the company's newsletter published an article praising my success. It went viral in our circle, reaching every family member's phone. Suddenly, the same people who mocked me were sharing the news, pretending they had always believed in me. My sister even texted me, "Maybe you're not so useless after all." I didn't respond. Instead, I focused on the project that was rapidly growing under my leadership. I started hiring people, building a team, and expanding the business beyond anything they imagined. Meanwhile, my parents kept inviting me to family dinners, pretending to be proud. But I knew the truth. They were scared. The biggest twist came when my sister's internship was suddenly canceled. She called my mom, desperate for help, but my parents were broke. All those years they spent funding her dreams, gone, vanished without a trace. Meanwhile, I was sitting in my new office, signing deals worth millions, while my sister was left begging for a lifeline. That's when I realized, success isn't just about money or power. It's about proving to yourself that no matter how many times people try to hold you down, you have the strength to rise and leave them behind. And trust me, what happened next will blow your mind. Months later, everything changed completely. My company's value skyrocketed, and I was invited to speak at major conferences. My parents, who once ignored me, now called asking for advice, only after seeing my name everywhere. My sister, who used to mock me, was now struggling to find a job while I was hiring dozens of employees. The tables had turned, and the power was finally in my hands. At the next family gathering, I walked in confidently, wearing a tailored suit and carrying a new business contract. My parents tried to act proud, but their eyes showed the guilt they couldn't hide. My sister avoided, looking at me, knowing the truth she couldn't deny. I stood tall and said, "I didn't need your support to succeed. I worked hard in silence while you wasted time doubting me." Then, I made a decision that shocked everyone. I offered my sister a job in my company. Not as a favor, but as a chance to learn humility and grow. "This is your chance to start fresh," I told her. "But only if you're willing to work for it, not take it for granted." My parents were speechless, realizing that success isn't just about money or status. It's about character, patience, and resilience. My revenge wasn't about ruining them. It was about rising above and showing what true strength looks like. In the end, I didn't just win the battle, I won my peace. The lesson? Never let anyone's doubt define your worth. Hard work, quiet, Persistence and believing in yourself will always crush the loudest critics. This is my story of betrayal, silent struggle, and ultimate revenge that changed everything. And trust me, if I can do it, so can you.